and welcome to the VitaCast episode 38. We're recording on August 19th. It's August 19th, Kyle.
It's the day, Tyler.
It's August 19th. Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online. So, we're going to just screw all the other news and just talk about Sword Art Online, right, Kyle?
Yeah, definitely.
So
get talking. Tell me about the game, Tyler.
Well,
you've been playing it, right? What are you doing here?
Let's do an update here real quick. My Vita says I have 16 minutes left, and then I'm gonna shut the computer off and I'm gonna start playing. So we better hurry this up.
Yeah, 16-minute Vita cast. It's gonna be a record.
Yeah. But yes, it's finally here. I'm so excited, although I have to work, and I'm a little disappointed that I didn't request a day off. I should have just done that, but I didn't. So I'm gonna cry a little bit.
Well, you ran out of sick days, so that's what happens.
It's true, but then I totally forgot that I have like a free holiday because we got like a new CEO or whatever, and she handed out holidays to everyone. And I was like, yeah, I could have used that, but oh well. I will play the crap out of it when I get home.
You'll have no sleep tonight. You'll be me.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I have to edit this episode tonight, so I'll do that, and then play the game, and then
Make sure you get your priorities straight. VitaCast first.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyways, let's start what we always start with, and that would be what we've been playing. I already know what Kyle's going to be playing, that bastard. But I've been playing some of the usuals, like Killzone Mercenary because of Lounge Play. Also, Tabletop Racing. Had some issues with that one, though. If you watch the video, you'll see. We had a lot of connection issues. I don't know what was going on, so hopefully there's an update coming out that will resolve some of that. I know the developers have been teasing information about new stuff coming after Gamescom, and, well, Gamescom is over, so we should be hearing something soon from about them. Other than that, I played some more Velocity 2X. Yeah, be jealous. Other than that, there's always something. Oh, I played some Spelunky yesterday with my friend at work, and I haven't played that in a while, and I suck. Me and my friend kept dying so quick, it was sad, but that game's still fun. I need to play more of that. Also I played Akiba's Trip, Undead and Undressed. Yeah, it's a fun game. It's interesting. You'll hear a little bit more about that later with a certain thing Kyle did. Also, Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. A little bit of that. And yeah, I just played everything. What about you, Kyle?
Well, as you well know, I've been playing Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment for my review. I'm like 7 hours in, I think, now. And yeah, I've died a whole bunch of times. I've been learning, so it's been a little bit of a learning curve and trying to figure out what the best way to kind of go about things is. So
wait, so
yeah.
That means you shouldn't even be here. You died.
Yeah, I know, but it's a game. They curved the canon a little bit. It's not quite in line with the anime, so if that's what you're expecting, no. It's still a great game, though, and obviously I'll have more on that later as now the embargo has broken and I can speak about it.
Nice.
Other than that, I finished up my Akiba's Trip review, so that's now up on the site. I gave it a 3.6 out of 5, and if you're at all interested in the game or even one of those people who just buys everything, you should probably read it because even though it's a great game for me, it's not a one-size-fits-all, and you're going to want to read the review. Other than that, of course, we did Lounge Play, Killzone Mercenary, Tabletop Racing. I had some connection issues, so yeah, not too pleased with that. But yeah, other than that, just been playing a little bit of this and that here and there, but mostly Sword Art Online and Akiba's Trip.
Good games, though.
Yeah, good games. Worthwhile playing. For me, anyway.
Yeah, I'm enjoying Akiba's Trip, and hopefully soon I will be enjoying Sword Art, so we'll see. All right. So yeah, that's you mentioned your review of Akiba's Trip. What else do we got for reviews this week?
Yep, just one other review went up this week, and that's Sean's review of This Gaea 4, A Promise Revisited, and he gave it a 4.1 out of 5. So if you're interested in RPGs and want to have a look at what he has to say about that, it's on the site.
Oh yeah, so many RPGs, so many hours of games just releasing all at once.
Yeah, I know. There's a Sword Art Online trophy that says you played over 100 hours in this game and beat it. So yeah, there goes my life.
You gonna try to platinum that game?
Probably eventually, but it's not going to be one of those things that I try and run for the end at.
I gotcha. No rush. No rush. Enjoy the game, Kyle.
I will.
All right, well, let's head on to the new releases for this week with Paul. What do we got this week, Paul?
Hello, everyone. It's Paul from the Vita Lounge here. I'm just going to run through your new releases for this week. It's one of those rare weeks where it's the same games out on both sides of the Atlantic. So this week we have, if I had the right page up, this week we have Counter Spy, which is available cross-buy on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3 and the Vita. It's available for $14.99 in North America, and it's £9.99, €12.99 or 19.45 Australian dollars. In the EU region, it's 20% off with PlayStation Plus. Next up, we have Crimson Land, which is available for $8.99 on the North American store, or $7.19 if you have Plus. In Europe, it's £9.99, €12.99, or again 19.45. That's cross-buy with the PlayStation 4. You have Gravity Badgers, which is available for $5.99, or in Europe, it's £3.99, €4.99, or $7.55. And then finally, bringing up the rear, you have Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment, which is available for $39.99, and in Europe, it's £32.99, €39.99, or $59.95. There's some good sales going on this week on both sides. You have Dragon's Crown, Hotline Miami, Persona 4, and Conception 2 in North America. Europe, this week we have a Rockstar promotion with some Grand Theft Auto titles, Midnight Club and Manhunt 2 available for large discounts. So if there's anything you fancy, then just have a look and pick something up and let us know what you've been playing. Speak to you soon. Bye.
All right, thanks, Paul, for giving us those new releases. Obviously, we've already mentioned it a lot, but Sword Art Online is top on that list. You better grab it. If you're not, then I don't even want to talk to you right now. But go grab it. Even if you don't like it, just grab it. But yeah, let's head on to the news for this week. We don't have too much, so we'll go right through this. First up, more Samurai Warriors Chronicles 3 details and screenshots. Obviously, the screenshots you have to check the site to see. Samurai Warriors Chronicles 3 is planned for a release later this year, and Koei Tecmo slowly teases us by sharing bits of information about the game. Last week there was very little we could tell you about the changes this time, but that changes this time. We've got our hands on some information and had to share this with you. There's a few things. I'm only going to read a couple things to let you know about it, so if you want to read all about it, go to the site and check it out. First up, character change system. The character change system returns to Samurai Warriors Chronicles 3. Using this will allow you to switch quickly between the four main characters. Since there's a lot happening at the same time at several places, you need to be strategic about when and where you place your characters. The friendship system. Samurai Warriors Chronicles 3 will use a friendship system to create stronger bonds between characters. During event scenes, it's possible to choose conversation options. These options will alter the scenario dialogue, but also increase your friendship level with certain characters. There will be more information or more conversation options the higher your friendship level is. Samurai Warriors Chronicles 3 is set to release later this year in Japan on PlayStation Vita. And Sword Art Online gets the big update this September in the West. Yes! Kyle and I are just jumping with joy, high-fiving each other even though we're ways away from each other.
Digital high five, bro.
Yeah! So it looks like our hopes and dreams have been answered. Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment is getting the big update Japan received this September in the West. Bandai Namco Games community manager Ishak Gravi has just posted a little slice of heaven to NeoGAF's Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment topic detailing the release of the big update in Japan that's coming to the West. He says, quote, "Hi guys, sorry I'm super busy with Gamescom, but I wanted to share the good news with you. Yes, finally we are getting the patch and we'll have free DLC on launch day and more DLC to come. Here's the quote from the press release. For fans who will want even more Sword Art Online excitement, a major update will be available after launch on September 24th to extend the already thrilling and plentiful Sword Art Online experience. This free update will raise the level cap from 200 to 250 and provide an estimated 30-plus hours of additional gameplay, including 50 new Hollow missions and heroine quests, new bosses, weapons, armor, areas, and more. Oh, and it's the same for the US. So, yeah. Yay. Kyle and I were a little worried when they just said they weren't sure earlier when we heard about it. But it's coming, so everyone be excited.
Just want to interject there, Tyler. They've revealed that the date for the U.S. will be September 23rd, so we're getting it a date earlier.
Oh, yeah. 24 hours less to wait. Anyways, next up, PlayStation TV release date announced for the West. It was announced today at Gamescom that the PlayStation TV will see a release in Europe on November 14th, launching exactly a year after the Japanese release. The rebranded PlayStation TV will release with Velocity Ultra, Ollie Ollie, and Worms Revolution Extreme for a price of £99 or euros. I don't know. It's one of those. The PlayStation TV will release in North America a month earlier on October 14th, which was announced at E3 that the PlayStation TV will launch in America as either a $99 US standalone console purchase or a part of a bundle for $139 US, adding a DualShock 3 controller, 8GB Vita memory card, HDMI cable, and a voucher code for Lego Movie the video game, which allowing for you to play PlayStation Vita games on your TV. The PlayStation TV will also allow for you to use PlayStation Now and the PS4's remote play function on other TVs in your house. So yeah, look forward to that if you're interested.
All right, moving on. We only stumbled upon a mention of the Muppet movie Adventures not too long ago, and now it seems to be taking a stealth release on the PlayStation Vita in the near future. This Vita exclusive, developed by Virtual Toys in partnership with Disney Interactive and published by SCEE, should be released sometime in the autumn of 2014. So it won't be long before you jump into a world of movie adventures with Kermit, Miss Piggy, Gonzo, and a number of your other favorite Muppets characters. The game seems to feature a mix of platforming and puzzle solving to get through the various missions, and the debut trailer shows that there is some use of the touchscreen controls to interact with elements of the game. All this information as well as the trailer can be found on the site, so it might be a good idea to have a look if the name Muppets has piqued your interest. Next up, Q Games and Double 11 Limited have announced that they will bring Nom Nom Galaxy to the PlayStation Vita. The two developers have worked together before and brought us games like Pixel Junk Monsters Ultimate and Pixel Junk Shooter Ultimate. They have teamed up this time to bring us Nom Nom Galaxy. The game is a mix of genres like tower defense, sandbox, and platforming, with the goal being to build, expand, and maintain an interstellar soup factory. The game focuses heavily on a co-op experience, whether it be online or at home on the couch. Asynchronous and community challenges will be included as well. More information has been promised from them in the future, but for now, you know what we know. And WayForward Technologies has shared some footage from an in-progress version of Shantae Half Genie Hero, the video focusing on a speed stage called Sequence of Unfortunate Events. It is played on the PC, not the PlayStation Vita, as it is an early test version, but it gave us an early look at what the game might be like. This footage can be seen on the site. However, the real news seems to be that seeing as how the scope of the game has increased with all the added stretch goal content, it will not make its planned October 2014 launch window. So we'll have to wait a little longer.
All right. Next up, Pix the Cat coming this fall. According to the official website, Pix the Cat is an intense arcade game designed to make your pads sore. Designed around rescuing ducklings from the nested levels of the Grid of Eternity, you'll have to perfect your skill to speed combo up until you can activate the explosive Fever Time. Check the site for the trailer if you want to see that. The game will contain a ghost feature for score competition online and possibly a multiplayer option. The press release says defeat your friends at home in the combat arena, though that sounds more like a PS4 feature. Pix the Cat is slated for release this fall. Echo's Deep Sea Exploration coming to PlayStation Vita. French indie developer Cheeseburger Games recently confirmed via Twitter that their debut mobile game, Echo's Deep Sea Exploration, will be sailing its way to Vita. Echo's Deep Sea Exploration puts you in the deep unknown aboard the SMD wow, I can't pronounce things right now. Imperceptible? That's just depressing. Anyways, some word that I can't pronounce right now. Minesweeping submarine. Backing you up on your journey are Captain Kratz and his trusty mechanic Pam. You must maneuver your way in the dark labyrinth of the abyss, repelling sea creatures and avoiding various wreckage and enemies while you defuse hundreds of mines. Check the site for the trailer as well. Next up, 8 Ways to Kill an Assault Android Cactus. Assault Android Cactus is an arcade-style arena shooter that will be released later this year on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita. The game features a colorful collection of heroines to play as you shoot your way through 25 stages and destroy the mechanical army. Each character possesses both a primary weapon with unlimited ammo as well as a secondary weapon that will operate on a cooldown timer. Recently, the team at Witchbeam have detailed the various weapons utilized by each of the 8 main playable characters. First up is the namesake of the game, Cactus, whose primary weapon is a fast, accurate Vulcan machine gun that can be upgraded over time to be powerful enough to take out anything in her path. Her secondary weapon is the short-range flamethrower, which will... I'm not going to read off all the characters, but I'll read another one real quick. Shiitake uses a railgun, which is a slow-firing but devastating weapon that can lay waste to rows of enemies. Also in her arsenal are propeller mines, which act as proximity mines and allow her to set traps for unsuspecting foes. With 8 different characters come 8 different playstyles, which allows you to choose whichever one is best suited for you. Look for Assault Android Cactus later this year.
All right, next up, back in February, Papers, Please developer Lucas Pope revealed that he was interested in bringing his Border Patrol simulator to Sony's handheld. Now Sony has officially announced a console port of the game, with the Vita version later confirmed by PlayStation strategic content speaker Shahid Kamal Ahmad via Twitter. Quote, "You asked for Papers, Please on Vita? It's coming to Vita." End quote. Released initially for Windows and OS X in August 2013, the game puts the players in the shoes of an immigration officer who is plagued daily as to who to let into the fictional country of Arstotzka and who to send packing. The game raises ethical and moral questions for the player throughout, with certain decisions leading to different consequences. No release date has been announced yet, but we'll sure to be keeping you informed. And last week, we informed you of the new anime trailer that had been released to promote the upcoming monster hunting game Toukiden Extreme, and now a video has been launched to display upgrades to weapons from the first game, Toukiden the Age of Demons. Here are just a few upgrades that will be added to the game, which have been shown in the trailer. Long swords, they will get their mystical Katana Kizu ability enhanced with more power, but will also cost more stamina. The ability to draw the sword and do a mighty vertical slash has also been added, which you can now do while standing in a single place. Spears can now be used to parry or stop enemy attacks, which is mighty handy when facing a massive beast. Chain and Sickle Kusarigama is an aerial upgrade that has been included, but the extra good news is that the development team has made it so you'll not be vulnerable to attacks while in midair. And the bow, you can now gain extra power with the bow in exchange for lowered stamina and mobility. To see these aforementioned weapons in action, check out the full post on the site, which includes the new trailer. Toukiden Extreme is slated for release on August 28th in Japan, with still no word on a Western release date. And Henchman and Goon, an independent game developer out of Norway, have announced that their game Phlegm will be coming to PlayStation Vita next year. Oh wait, sometime later this year, sorry. This 8-bit inspired platformer is the debut game from the studio and will feature a chiptune soundtrack from composer Hans Christian Morkby Remau. Phlegm is a retro platformer that features a lost ball of snot named Phlegm, who is separated from the rest of his kind during the Great Sneeze. Players will be able to traverse 40 dangerous levels through 4 seasons in order to find Phlegm's people in the land of the eternal tissue. Along the way, Phlegm will discover his hidden snot powers, which will give him new abilities, such as the ability to fly, in order to add an extra layer of difficulty to the game. The game is designed around speedruns, and it looks very much like an 8-bit cross between Mutant Blob's Attack and Super Meat Boy, or about a dozen other super challenging platformers that have been released in recent years. You can compare your times with those of other players through the use of leaderboards and earn medals for better times. And if that isn't tough enough, there will also be a hardcore mode which can be unlocked to further increase the difficulty. You can expect to see Phlegm released on PlayStation Vita as well as PC, Mac, and Linux sometime later this year, so prepare yourself for snot-related puns such as, oh, no's you don't, and yes it is, no it's not.
Sounds sticky.
Indeed.
Anyways, next up, 99 Bricks Wizard Academy coming to PlayStation Vita. Dutch developer Weird Beard Games will bring 99 Bricks Wizard Academy to Vita. They announced earlier this week or today. I don't know when that was posted. Anyways, 99 Bricks Wizard Academy is all about building towers using tetromino blocks. So instead of clearing lines, you now have to stack these blocks to get your tower as high as possible. The twist is in use of the tetromino blocks. Forces you to rewire your brain, but is making the game both challenging and fun. Develop tower building skills and magical powers to complete challenging tasks and become a true wizard. 99 Bricks Wizard Academy originally released on iOS and Android and used the portrait orientation. Weird Beard Games is working hard to create a landscape orientation for use on the Vita. The user interface and graphics will be overhauled as well to bring the best possible experience. Next, Disney Infinity heading to Vita in spring of 2015. You've got to love Twitter. It gives you a way to directly communicate with game makers and allow them to instantly respond to you. Recently, after scouring the Disney Infinity website, our own Brad reached out to John Vignacini. I probably said that wrong, I'm sorry. The executive producer for Disney Infinity, and inquired about the lack of mentioning the PS Vita anywhere on the Infinity site. His fear was that it was silently canceled and we should just be waiting for the inevitable news. Thankfully, that is not the case. Brad tweeted at John, no mention of PS Vita anywhere on the Infinity site. Should I be worried it's not coming? With a reply from John saying, you should absolutely not be worried. At Delt Soulman is all over that. Matt, let's get Jason to update the site. Brad then says, at John and at Delt Soulman, thank God my daughter and I are so looking forward to this on Vita, and when I didn't see it on the site, I freaked. With Matthew Soleil finally stepping in to say, at Von Groots, at John Vincon, whatever. Duder, you're all good. It's coming to the Vita spring of 2015. Trust me, we're going to crush it. So, if you were worried about them not mentioning the Vita name anywhere, it is still coming. So that's awesome because I'm actually kind of looking forward to that game. It looks very interesting. So, yay. Next up, new info for visual novel Cadence Fermata Accord Fortissimo. 5VP Mages have announced it is working on a new visual novel called Cadence Fermata Accord Fortissimo for the PlayStation Vita. The game's official website has given us an idea of how the game plays, as well as a teaser trailer being released for the title. Revolving around the main character Freya, the story of the game will see you take on the magician using your wits and the different strategies offered by the game by making use of the FF and Axis buttons when in combat. When you're battling it out in the game, there will be different ways for you to emerge victorious. The first one is called FF, which stands for Free Finish, which is a special attack that you can use at any point during combat. Although you can use FFs at any time, it is advised to save them for the best possible scenario. There are a variety of special attacks that can be used, so the choice is yours when it comes to picking them. Releasing in Japan this fall, keep your eyes on the Vita Lounge for updates on Cadence Fermata as we find out more about it. So, and there's a teaser trailer if you want to see that on the site, so go ahead and check it out if you're interested.
Oh yeah, more visual novels. You know I'm down for that, Tyler.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, moving on with the news. An upcoming patch for the recently released Oreshika Tainted Bloodlines will aim to address some of the complaints that Sony Computer Entertainment had faced regarding Nuiko, the game's heroine. The complaint suggests that players felt Nuiko was forced into the game's story, taking away from the game's idea of being about your family. Another common complaint was that there are battles where it is necessary requirement to have Nuiko as part of your party. Unfortunately, the issues that have been raised regarding the story can be fixed, but by making some minor changes to the game systems that revolve around Nuiko, Sony are attempting to resolve some of the issues raised. There will be adjustments that will lower the amount of time or points needed to benefit from the game's features that Nuiko features in. An example given is the amount of dedication points that are needed to reincarnate Nuiko will be heavily reduced. This will help out players a lot as Nuiko is required to be a party member as part of the game's story and also has certain strengths that you will need to use. It has also been noted that the patch will eliminate issues such as having too many gods appear at once and an issue where the game can get stuck on a loading screen when entering battle or changing map screens. Hopefully these fixes will be in place for the launch of Arashi Tainted Bloodlines in the West, with no release date yet announced for the localized version. Be sure to check the Vita Lounge for future updates on this title as and when they happen. And finally, we can reveal the release date for Freedom Wars.
Ah!
And there will be some pre-order incentives as well.
Ah!
Tyler's freaking out. All these games, man, Tyler's just gonna like go into the poorhouse.
Aw, yeah.
Alrighty. Freedom Wars is set to launch in North America on October 28th, available as a digital download and a physical copy at $29.99 price tag. European gamers will be able to download Freedom Wars on October 29th and can get a physical copy on October 31st. European pricing is now known, and it will be €29.99 or £24.99. Pre-ordering the game will give you some extras. You can pre-order digitally or at select retailers to get the same extras the Japanese got when Freedom Wars launched over there. You will receive the following: limited edition costume, which is formal wear; powerful starter weapons, which is heavy melee and rocket launcher; limited edition sticker set, which is in-game; and combat pack item, which is medical supply set. So look forward to that at the end of October, guys.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to look forward to it this month because I get to play it at PAX.
You bastard. All right, last piece of news from me here. Welsh developers Wales Interactive contacted us to tell us that their Wii U title Gravity Badgers was set to release on the PlayStation Vita. Ben Tester from the studio explains the basics to us. Quote, "Step into the spacesuit of a valiant space badger as he ventures into the deadly depths of deep space to save his friends, family, and the universe itself from threat of the deadly evil honey badgers, aka the Hell Set. For the first time ever, a game unites the thrilling elements of badgers and gravity to create a stunningly presented graphics-based puzzle game that will take you beyond the realms of possibility, imagination, and logic to the stardusted realm of the Gravity Badgers." End quote. The game is set to release in the North American and European stores this week, priced at £3.99, £4.99, or €4.99. Have you played this elsewhere? Is it something you might be interested in? Don't worry, James will be bringing you our thoughts very soon.
Oh, yeah. And that's it, right?
That's it from me.
Is there another one?
Yeah.
Oh, you updated it, didn't you? No, there isn't. You're a lying piece of crap.
Gotta be on the ball, Tyler.
I was on the ball. You're just throwing me curveballs.
Yeah, I know. You gotta be ready for those, too.
Sometimes. All right. Everyone, we need to impeach Kyle from the Vita cast. He doesn't get along.
You can't impeach me. I own this.
Whatever. I don't even want to talk to you. Go to the next segment, Kyle.
Listen, Tyler, that's enough. You can't be over there, like, mouthing off and have Sword Art Online. You just can't be like that. You have to be happy, in a good mood.
I am in a good mood because I'm playing it right now and ignoring you. Just kidding.
All right. Speaking of stuff we need to talk about, some talking points, announced release games we're looking forward to from the week. So I have no idea what you'd be looking forward to from the week, Tyler. There's no way I could possibly guess.
There's no way. Well, Disney Infinity. Really excited for that one. Actually, I really am. But obviously, Sword Art Online, I am just looking at that bubble, and it is calling me. It's like, touch me, Tyler. Open the game. Yeah. Play. But no, I'm here recording for you guys. But yeah,
He's taking one for the team, you guys.
yep. So while you guys are enjoying that game, I'm recording and then going to be editing later today. So, but yeah, Disney Infinity as well. That game looks really interesting. Papers, Please, and there's a truck driving by. I don't know if you can hear that. Sounds like a dumpster or dump truck. Anyways, Papers, Please looks kind of interesting. I'll definitely have to check that one out. Also, Nom Nom Galaxy looks really interesting. It kind of reminds me of a Terraria type building game, but with more combat oriented things instead of searching for gold and ore and stuff like Terraria does. So yeah, I'll definitely have to give that one a shot. What else? There's always something. Kyle, what about you? I want to hear about you because you always say the thing I can't think of.
Well, first of all, I'm kind of looking forward to what Brad has to say about Counter Spy because I think that looks kind of interesting, but I'm not quite getting it yet. So yeah, looking forward to what Brad has to say about that. Looking forward to PlayStation TV release date. I know that's not a game, but that's pretty awesome as well. And I'm looking forward to, of course, Oreshika Tainted Bloodlines. It's starting to grow on me, and yeah, you know, with all these great Japanese games that are coming over and I'm playing, I'll probably end up getting that too. And then, of course, Freedom Wars, which pretty much doesn't have to be said at this point.
Those were the two games I was thinking of that I didn't say. See, Kyle always has my back, even though he doesn't.
I'll have your back and Sword Art Online if we can somehow figure out how to ad hoc over the internet.
Yeah, that's true. My friend, she bought it today too, so at work I'm actually... Wait, you said... I think you were telling me on Skype that it takes a while before you can actually get to the online portion.
We have to go through the intro bit. So there's like an intro bit where it kind of like, you know, you kind of fall into what's going on and
right.
Dialogue and a little bit of battle, but it doesn't take very long to get past that. So like you play an hour and you're there.
Okay. So maybe I'll be able to try it at work if we finish the cast soon and I can play before I have to get ready for work.
Tyler.
All right, what's up next?
All right, well, we actually have to move to the next one now because those were our announced release games we're looking forward to. But our next talking point is related to a feature that's coming up. So we had to look at what our 15 best games on Vita are, and I thought we'd share those lists with you guys. So, Tyler, you want to go first?
Sure thing. I'll start with 15 and go down so you can see what my number one is. So 15, I have Soul Sacrifice. It's a fun game. Obviously, why it's on the list. All these games are fun. 14, which kind of makes me laugh because of the game. It's MLB 14, same number as its number here. Hot Shots Golf is 13. 12 is Need for Speed Most Wanted. 11, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z. And hitting the top 10 is Final Fantasy X. 9 is Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. 8 is Spelunky. 7 is Terraria. 6 is my recently reviewed Rogue Legacy. 5 is Little Big Planet Vita. 4 is Gravity Rush. 3 is Killzone Mercenary. 2 is Tearaway. And number 1 is Persona 4 Golden. Yeah.
All right, so I guess it's my turn, and looks like we agree on quite a few of those, Tyler. So starting from my 15, number 15 for me is Hotline Miami. Number 14 is X-Blaze Code Embryo. Number 13 is my recent review, Akiba's Trip Undead and Undressed. Number 12 is Gravity Rush. Number 11 is Tearaway. Number 10 is Guacamelee. Number 9 is Soul Sacrifice Delta, which Tyler didn't get. Number 8 is Monster Monpiece. Number 7 is The Walking Dead Season 2. Number 6 is The Walking Dead Season 1. Number 5 is Ys Memories of Celceta. Number 4 is Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Number 3 is Killzone Mercenary. Number 2 is Hot Shots Golf World Invitational. And number 1 is, of course, Persona 4 Golden.
Very nice list. And there's a few games that you have in your list that I wish I could put in my list, but there's just so many games that I was like, I can't fit it in there without getting this game in there. So I had to drop some. Like, Danganronpa is amazing, and I would have put it in my list, but there's just too many games.
Yeah, I could have easily done a full 25 for my submission, and I
Yeah.
had problems kind of with the last, especially three ordered numbers. So I was kind of, mulling it over between all these games in my head. So I ended up cutting it down to that's what I kind of picked, and I think
Yeah.
I'm happy with it. So,
Nice.
all right, moving on to our last talking point, the negativity surrounding the Vita. So yeah.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the press, like bigger press sites that cover multiple games and stuff, where when something like a show comes up like Gamescom and E3 and nothing is shown around the Vita, and then that's what they kind of say, like there's nothing for the Vita, and then there's all the people freaking out. It's just people don't do their research, and that's where the negativity comes from, I believe. And that's a big reason why, if you've noticed Kyle posting some videos up on the site of upcoming games, you can see that there is tons of games coming. And in those videos, that's not even half the games that are coming in that time frame. There's tons of games coming that we couldn't fit in the video. So you shouldn't be negative. Right, Kyle?
Yeah, I completely agree. The problem really is the media coverage and the mainstream media coverage of the Vita. I don't think there's really actually a problem with the Vita at all. There's new games announced almost daily. We're always posting these new announcements and updates on the site. And really, there has been quite a few big announcements, I guess, at conferences. Most of our stuff comes just kind of as a natural flow throughout the week. So I'm not sure, that getting snubbed at Gamescom is a huge deal, although it is for getting the word out there, I guess. So yeah, our issues is more with getting that media coverage out to the masses, getting people to know what a Vita is, and maybe, see a game played on one so they'll want one. It's not so much the whole idea of, them not announcing 76 games that are first party at Gamescom.
Yeah.
Although, media coverage would lead to those things.
Yeah, so I don't blame IGN for this, but at the same time I do. They're a business, so I understand that they need to center their I can't think of what the word is right. Well, basically their mission, their goal or whatever is based off of their posts and stuff. But I was listening to the podcast Beyond guys, and Colin was talking about Tales of Hearts R for the Vita, and he said that he posted up a feature about it and it didn't get as much hits as he was expecting it to get, so that he's not going to do any more stories on it. It's like, seriously? Come on. Like, I understand it's a business. It just still frustrates me that that's what they have to go off of. So a mainstream site like IGN is not going to post Vita stuff because a lot of people are checking it out, like their Xbox One and PS4 stuff. So if you're not seeing stuff on IGN, that's probably why.
Well, it's funny because the way that you get things to, get the amount of views that you want is by initially telling the public about them. We
Right.
never really had that. So unless they do it now, what are we going to get from that? You're not going to get, knocked down by Tyler?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. And unless they do it now, unless they actually do a push for Vita content in these big mainstream sites, it's not going to catch on with the mainstream people. So it's just going to be us who are growing the Vita community and engaging with the people, but we're not really mainstream as much as we've come so far. So yeah, it's kind of pushing us into a niche that we shouldn't have to be in.
Which is unfortunate, but that's why we're here, guys. Because that's all we post.
We're all about the Vita. We'll cover it if they don't.
That's right.
All right. Well, I think that's enough on the negativity for now. Everyone kind of knows the score, and if you want to check about it more, you can always go to our forums, which are filled with talk about Vita. Moving on, I think we should get into a little bit of the listener mail here, Tyler.
Yeah.
So we've got two this week, one kind of pertaining to that bit of negativity surrounding the Vita, but going off on a little bit of a tangent as well. But the first one here, it's a little different. So, hey Kyle, Tyler, and anyone else on the podcast this week. It's me, Hunter Slasher 13 from the forums. For some reason, I've never listened to the VitaCast in my time as a member of Vita Lounge forums, but don't worry, I fixed that over the last week. Started from episode 1 and am now caught up. We'll say you guys have improved as the podcast has aged. Also wanted to add you guys are very funny with your puns. Now on to my question. As we leave Gamescom behind and look forward to the Tokyo Game Show, I can't help but think that a PS Vita 3000 announcement is on the horizon for Vita users in the land of the rising sun and us as well. I want to ask what features, be them external or internal, would you want on a new PlayStation Vita model? I've owned a PS Vita 1000 since launch and can't put my money on the downgrade known as the PS Vita 2000. I personally would like this PS Vita model to be an actual upgrade. Just a comment, but I also saw the Vita Lounge's video showing off upcoming Vita games for the fall and beyond. Very well done. Keep up the good work and see you later on the forums. Hunter Slasher 13.
Well, thank you, Hunter Slasher 13, for this email and catching up on the VitaCast and thinking we're funny. I don't think we're that funny, but, Kyle's here, so. But,
you're kind of funny in the head, Tyler, so
whatever. Don't even go there. Anyways, a PS Vita 3000 announcement, I honestly don't see happening. And if it did, I'd be very surprised. I don't think that's their goal right now, and I would kind of be a little upset actually if they announced this instead of some game announcements and stuff like that, because even though we've already said that there's a ton of games coming, people still want to hear games, and I would just think people would take that as the wrong way, like, oh, Sony's focusing on bringing in another Vita, but they're not worried about advertising the games that are coming to the Vita. So personally, I don't see it, but if they did, what would I like to see them upgrade? I guess I've actually played the Vita 2000, and it feels really good. It's nice and light. It's not bulky, but it's comfortable, I guess. I think I would just want them to maybe put the screen back to the OLED, make it like the original, and still have that battery life, because I think one of the big reasons why they took out the OLED was to make the battery life better. And it doesn't actually look that bad. My friend has the 2000, and that's how I was able to try it out, and it looks just fine. So, I mean, it is a downgrade tech-wise, but it's not really if you try it out. But yeah, what about you, Kyle? Do you think we're going to see this 3000 announcement?
Do I think that a PlayStation Vita 3000 announcement is on the horizon? Unfortunately, no. However, I do have a good list of things that you could, do to make a better Vita, which I thought I'd read. So to make this easy, let's start with a Vita 1000 original black OLED model. And these are the changes I would make to make a perfect Vita. So first, strip down the lock faceplate, but keep the protective layer or mini faceplate over the screen so the OLED isn't exposed directly when the faceplate is off. Ship the device with a black and a white faceplate, offering all the colors of the rainbow in between for sale in both matte and glossy color. Second, fix the left and right triggers. By this I mean make them properly pressure sensitive and change from clear plastic to textured, a la the PS4's DS4 triggers. Start and select need to be enlarged to the size of the Slims, but I don't like the reshaping. I think they should stay the same shape that they were on the Vita 1000. A larger capacity battery, of course, because we all want to play for longer. The metal-looking painted rim that's around the outside of the Vita should be changed from plastic to a solar panel, so you can squeeze all the juice and gaming time out you can. Add an additional charging port to the top of the back of the Vita where the actual camera is now. So for when you want to charge it and rest the bottom edge on something, because I actually usually rest the bottom edge of my Vita on my lap or my leg or something when I'm playing, and then I can't plug it in and play at the same time, so that kind of pissed me off. Move the camera off center at the back and add flash. Up to 5 megapixels with a decent sensor would be perfectly reasonable. If you're going to do something, do it at least semi-right. The front camera should be upped in quality. These are a couple other things, but they're not directly related necessarily to the Vita. But fix the PlayStation Store to be more like the Sony Entertainment Network website, making it more easily navigated and organized. Stock apps must be hideable. We need bigger and cheaper memory cards, a bigger size of PlayStation Vita game card up from that 4 gigabyte, 3.8 gigabyte limit, and make all updates downloadable to the card, and the option to save on card or on memory card or auto sync with the cloud, and more games, because who doesn't want more games? That's my list of things that they should do if they're revamping the Vita.
So Kyle was way more prepared than I was. But yeah, I agree with all of those. That sounds like the perfect Vita.
There you go. Somebody build me one.
Yeah. Sony.
Good luck.
Yeah. Just email that to them. Like, hey, here's my specs. I'll take it like in a month from now, please. Here's my address. They'll send you one, right, Kyle? That's how it works.
I wish that was how it works, Tyler.
If only.
All right, so I believe that is all for our first question there. Right, Tyler?
Yes, sir.
All right, so moving on to the second one. So this one kind of pertains to something we've already talked about, but like I said, goes off on a tangent. So, hey, Kyle and Tyler. In an interview with Eurogamer.net, Shuhei Yoshida had the following to say about the lack of Vita discussion at Gamescom. Quote, "We are pretty happy with games coming out on PlayStation Vita and the games that are in the pipeline. PlayStation Vita gamers are pretty core, dedicated gamers. They seek information, so we trust them to find out about the games coming out on PlayStation Vita." End quote. From discussing Freedom Wars' change from digital to physical release in Europe, he ended with, quote, "I am happy we are able to respond to people's requests like that. We'll continue to have conversation with consumers. It is our intent to support PlayStation Vita as well." End quote. So the Vita's been pushed back from the nest. It has to rely on itself to populate. I'd like to hear what you think. Sorry for an unusually long email. Take care. Dan from Snohomish.
Okay, here we go. This quote right here. PS Vita gamers are pretty core, dedicated gamers. They seek information, so we trust them to find out about the games coming out on PlayStation Vita. That just irritates me. So basically they're saying that they don't care to get people to buy the Vita. They just want people that already have Vitas to buy games. It's irritating. Sony needs to learn that they need to market their stuff themselves and not rely on other people to do it for them, personally. But you know, Kyle and I are happy to do it with our videos. But still. Anyways, Kyle, you take it here. I'm a little upset.
All right. Well, I completely agree with you. The whole PS Vita gamers are core, dedicated gamers. They seek information, so we trust them to find out about the games coming out on PlayStation Vita thing only really applies to the people who have PlayStation Vitas now. The people who have PlayStation Vitas now are hardcore gamers. That's why they found out about the PlayStation Vita in the first place, because it's not really advertised anywhere. There's really bad marketing in North America and Europe, other than a few, measly commercials here and there, and maybe an ad here or there. There's really not a whole lot from the companies to be said about the PlayStation Vita or to market the PlayStation Vita as anything other than a remote play device. So the first step really is getting the word out there about PlayStation Vita. Then I guess they could, stop worrying about whether trusting them to get the game, find out about the games, I guess. And they haven't taken the first step, so that's the problem.
Yeah. It's sad because when the Vita was first coming out, there was a lot of marketing with, even though Call of Duty's not the best, they had that Call of Duty commercial running all the time, and that got people knowing about the Vita. And if Call of Duty was amazing, it probably would have been a very huge success with that commercial, but since Call of Duty wasn't the best, we all know, it probably didn't do as well. And they also had the Madden. I think I brought this up last week or the week before. I don't know. I remember saying this, but the Madden commercial as well. It was pretty funny and got people realizing that there's a Madden experience on the go that's not horrible. Although it's not the best, it's not horrible. So there's a ton of games that they could easily throw together, like a minute commercial, pop it up on some local cable TV or like sports, like the NFL, because the NFL is starting back up again. The NFL season's starting back up, so they could throw that on there and boom, they could see an uptick in the West for Vita sales. But no, it's all about the PS4. Even though the PS4 is winning right now the console race against the Xbox One and the Wii U, they just seem to still want to pound the crap out of Microsoft with the PS4. So what can you do?
Yeah, they've really missed a whole whack of opportunities. As far as I'm concerned, what originally sold me on the PlayStation Portable was those commercials with Franz Ferdinand, where the guy like busts out on the street and it's changing from different game characters and stuff's going on around him. He's listening to music, walking down the street. There's some cool music. That's the kind of stuff that sold me on the Vita. It wasn't initially the game announcements, and they really haven't done anything for the Vita itself. You never see commercials where it's like, this is what the Vita can do, and this is what it looks like, and it's cool, and it's the next generation PlayStation Portable, and blah blah blah. You never see stuff like that. It's all, what we do get is commercials like, here's Madden, it's available portable. That's pretty much what we get. So I just think the way that they're going about it is completely wrong, and if they would take a more, this is the Vita, this is why you should like it approach, they would get a lot farther.
Yeah. But they don't. Which is mind-boggling, but it's a company, again, but that focuses on what's making them money, so I guess that's just how we're going to have to deal with it.
All right, I think that's it for our listener mail, Tyler. What do you have for your game recommendation? Or our game recommendation, as it were?
Well, if you go back to our 15 best games on the Vita, that would be our recommendation. Any one of those games on our list is definitely a game that you should grab if you don't already have it. Yeah, obviously we wouldn't pick them as our top 15 if we didn't think they were good, so just grab one of those games if you don't have it, and I don't think you would be disappointed. Right, Kyle?
Definitely. And we'd also like to add that you should go buy Sword Art Online, and the only reason that it's not on my list is because it isn't out for everybody yet, and because the list was made last week.
Yes, so you will see Sword Art Online hitting the game recommendation probably sometime in the near future as a solo game. So yeah, go grab it, buy it, support Bandai, them Namcos. Right, Kyle?
I'm with you, Tyler.
Kyle's like, what the fuck is wrong with Tyler?
Only sometimes.
All right, well, let's get out of here so I can play that game that we just recommended. Like usual, you can find all the stories that we talked about on the VitaLounge.net. We're all on Twitter, at the Vita Lounge. I'm at Mr. PS Vita Reviews. Kyle is at Teflon Tactics. Yuki is at Yuki_WR. We're on Facebook. Just search the Vita Lounge. Also, our YouTube channel, Lounge Play, where we post up Lounge Plays, the VitaCast, and we have those 2 videos that we just released of upcoming Vita games, and the third one is coming very soon. I've pretty much got it done. I just need to get the music selected and get that finalized, and that will be hitting YouTube very soon, so look out for that. Also join the forums, thevitalounge.net/forums. Sign up, join the conversation. We're on iTunes, so go subscribe to us on there. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Go play Sword Art Online.
Go play Sword Art Online.
Bye.
Bye.